Hello and welcome. We are back this week. We're kind of excited. Well, Cory's excited because this topic is close to his heart. We're going to talk about music today. So the warning is we may all be in different places because we're all on different parts of our path. You know, April's here and she's been doing this longer than me, and I've been doing this longer than Cory. And so we're all in different spaces. So we're here to grow and learn and respect each other's opinions and be loving.
Yeah. Well, it was actually a conversation with April that sparked this dialogue between me and you when we were at the rec center. Me and Eric were talking about the direction of the band and, you know, how we're going to be playing contemporary music, but it's going to be heavy for the most part.
Yeah.
And she had mentioned something about NF and how he's angry all the time, and some of his music is depressing, and that's not where he should be as far as a Christian artist. And my argument with that is, just because he makes an angry song or two, which granted I don't listen to NF, so I really have no idea about him.
Right.
I just have heard through the grapevine that he's a Christian rapper.
Okay.
And she made it seem like he's not glorifying God through his music, which could be the case. I don't really know. But I guess it posed the question for me, can a Christian artist write a song that doesn't glorify God and still be a Christian artist?
Ooh, that's deep.
Told you it's serious. Yeah, we we had a big long conversation about this at the kitchen table, and Cory's like, "We are wasting podcasts right now," so we can't, But like I did look up some NF lyrics, and how we kind of went down the rabbit trail was because I don't know, like if Cory wrote a song and it was like, "I love my wife, she's the best." I'm not a lyricist, but and it was glorifying me per se. I think what he is saying is that wouldn't mean that I'm not a Christian artist. I just wrote a song about my wife, who I love, who God gave to me. And so I did look up some NF lyrics, and then we talked about his platform and how that kind of makes, for me, in my opinion, that makes a difference. Like he has this huge platform and this huge amount of influence on others. And so when he writes a song about how depressed he is and how people are coming at him, and how he can't stand this and how he can't do that, and there's never any sentiment to God and how God's going to get him through, or how he looks to God, or how he does this, how can you say on that platform that you are a Christian artist?
Right. And from my point of view, and I didn't get to do my homework before this podcast. I'm just going to put that out there. But because when I did listen to him, I was introduced to him at a youth conference, and we were excited. We got his CDs. We're like, it's a Christian kind of rapper, hard kind of guy. And we had really young kids at the time, and we were like, okay, sweet. So you just buy it. It's a Christian artist. Mm-hmm. So you're like, it's something that my kids can listen to. And at the time I had a very young teenage boy. I think he was a tween-age boy at the time. So it was like, great. Like, he can listen to this music. It's Christian music. And I remember I would keep walking into his room, and I don't know what song it is. I don't have the lyrics, but I remember listening to the hate and anger that was being spoken about his dad, and that he had hate and anger against his dad. And it was over and over again. And I was like, this is not something that is uplifting for him to hear. Like, I had to take it from him. Right. Because we already struggle in our flesh with anger. And especially when you're in that teenage trying to get independent. So I'm not saying that he's not Christian. What my point was, when we're talking about like the lyrics, and somebody might say they're Christian, But if it's pulling somebody or can influence somebody towards the world instead of towards Christ, that's where my direction was. Because as individuals, we can be a stumbling block for somebody else.
Right.
And so those lyrics in that platform, in my opinion, was a stumbling block instead of a place of freedom to.
Right. And Don made a good point when we were talking about it before too. You know, out of his 100 or so songs, however many he's got a lot. If 75 of them are anger and bitterness towards whomever, but only 25 are positive and glorifying God, is he really like a Christian contemporary rapper?
Right.
And you know, we looked up a few, and for the majority of it, it was anger and bitterness, and so it made sense.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you know, her argument made sense to me. Like, okay, out of 100 songs, only 25 are glorifying God. You're probably not going to get played on Christian radio or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And picture all of the teenage children that are in a place of struggle, that are having them in their earbuds, and the parents are like, oh, this isn't the Christian section. This is a Christian rapper. So you don't even listen anymore because you're just like, okay, this is awesome. They're listening to Christian music. And in their earbuds, it's hate and anger, hate and anger, hate and anger.
Right, which is the exact opposite.
Of Christianity. Or following.
It's not from
even,
God.
or just
Right.
following God. Yeah. And that's what we talked about is this platform. If you have a platform of influence like that, the ability to build the kingdom and to reach people and to tell them about the freedom that you have, because when you become a Christian, when you accept Jesus and you believe, you're brand new. You're in new clothes. You're brand new. But if you're not selling that, in your influence, this blessing that God has given you, this huge audience and these people that you can make such a huge difference for, but instead you're like, I don't know, and I have one song of his on my playlist, and I like it, but I don't listen to rap.
Right,
But it reminds me, like when I first became a Christian, because music, if you know Cory and I, you know that our whole relationship has been founded on music from day one.
Our first date was a concert.
From day one, our wedding invitation is based on a band, and a song that is really bad, but that. Our relationship was not founded on that. Obviously, we love each other, but it really has. Our music has been
It was the foundation for our relationship.
It always has been a core part of our relationship and who we are. And so when I got saved, music was the first thing for me to go, because I desired to be with Christ so closely and hold on to him so tightly, so I didn't fall back into the world, that I had to change the music, because music is such an integral part of my life all the time, and I think it was Mercy Me is really what carried me through the first year because I didn't know any Christian artists. I didn't know any of that. I knew Mercy Me because they did that one song that got popular on the radio, Mm-hmm. I can only imagine that's what it is. And literally Mercy Me walked me through my first year of Christianity with their songs, the things I felt, the things I went through, the things I did. And they helped me align my life and my relationship with God through their songs. Had I had listened to, what we used to listen to, rock music, Avenged Sevenfold was our band. Had I stayed with them, with listening to that, then I would have still had my foot out here in this world, pulling me away from Christ, which is what I didn't want. So that's, to me, when I speak about music, that's what I think about, that, the alignment of you with Christ.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because music is it's like a profound emotional thing. Like it's like a straight jab to your heart. Like if you're listening to depressive songs that are literally just about hate and being depressed, you're going to be depressed.
Yeah.
And that's, well, using Isaiah for an example, he come out and was like, I think I've been listening to the wrong music, and he's been dabbling with, like, what does he call it? Christian country rap. And he's like, it's true. I'm less depressed. It's more uplifting. He feels better. He's like, it even bumps really hard in my car. Like he really enjoys it.
Yeah.
That's something that I had heard, and I can't remember who said it, but when you are listening to music, it kind of skips your mind and goes straight into your heart.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't take the thoughts captive or what's coming in, because it's just open straight into our heart, a dump into our heart. But I want to say something real quick, because you said when you accepted the Lord and you kind of got convicted of that right away. For me, I wasn't. For me, I was following the Lord, and I listened to all of my songs that were not Christian, and I didn't get convicted of that for quite a while. I even was doing an exercise class in the church, leading the exercise class with all of the not Christian songs, but I made sure they didn't swear. I made sure they didn't talk about alcohol and didn't reference sex at all. So I was like, this is good. And I had somebody walk out of my class because it reminded them of their old days. And so I started listening to it differently. It didn't happen for me for quite a while, though.
Yeah.
Because my stuff it wasn't depressing. It wasn't hard rock. It was, I can't even think of a name of it right now, but it was the poppy, dancey, yay.
Yeah, fun music.
Yeah, the fun music. But it also was the things that was trying to draw me back into the club, trying to draw me back into that lifestyle that's not of the Lord. But it wasn't for a while down my walk that I got convicted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took a while for me too, and I'm still not completely out of it. Like I still listen to secular music from time to time, but I have more discernment in the songs that I'm listening to. Like if it makes me feel some type of way, and if I'm being convicted on the song I'm listening to, I get that gut feeling like I probably shouldn't be listening to this one, so we'll skip it.
Yeah. And we, Cory's in a band, and probably for the last year and a half, they've been practicing in my basement. And I think it was pretty recently that he said, no, I said that it's not the music that bothers you. It's just the noise and that you don't get your house. And I was like, no, it's absolutely the music, because it's an open door to who I used to be. And I don't want to be that person anymore. And it every time sucks me right back in. And when you start allowing that comfortability of the world back in, then you're separating yourself from what you've grown and what you've been close to. And and that's just for me. It's not necessarily for you, but even you have your band's changed all of a sudden, and so it's all different now. But even the lyrics, like April said, it goes right to your heart, and that's literally, it's the truth. Because how many times do we listen to a song and we love the song and it's great, but we're not registering what the song is even about. We're not. You guys played a song in your band, and I didn't know what it was, but I said to you one night, listen, you cannot play. I always say I don't want to be Yoko Ono, because I'm not breaking up the band. I don't want to be that guy, but you cannot play that song in my house. I have to take authority over this. You cannot. That is not a song that is not allowed in my house. And you were like, what do you mean?
Like, what are you talking about?
And
like,
then,
what's wrong with it?
Yeah, and then Josh looked up the lyrics. The name of the song,
Twist of Cain.
Twist of Cain. And Josh looked up the lyrics, and they were both like, oh my gosh. I'm like, yeah. I couldn't hear the words, but my Holy Spirit red flags were like, no. We ain't doing this. And so that's true. We don't sometimes we're not registering what a song is about.
So just a really quick embarrassing example of that. When I was in 6th grade, I went to my friend's house and we were listening to Color Me Bad. And I'm like, oh, I have to sing this song. I need to show my stepmom this song. And it was I Want to Sex You Up. And I sat there and played it and was singing it to her. I didn't think one thing about it. And now I listened to it when I was a little older. I'm like, what was I doing? No wonder she just sat there like, what? Yeah, you don't think about the lyrics. It's just the melody, it's the beat. But I have to ask you guys a question because this is something that music has memory. I don't know how to explain that. So I shared last time that I spoke that I lost my brother to suicide. But there's music, like he listened to the Cranberries and he listened to other songs that when I listen to them, it brings me right back to being with him and memory of him.
Yeah.
And nothing else does it like music. But they're not glorifying to God. And it kind of just, it's not depressing, but it kind of is. It's very hard for me.
It takes you to a sad time.
I get to remember him. Like, I don't want to say sad because it was when I was with him.
Right.
But it puts you in that place. Music does that.
Yeah.
So even like our high school songs, when you were with your friends, it's like when you hear that and someone else's radio or whatever, it's like, oh, I miss listening to those things because they take you back to where you were. It's pretty hard to just do away with all of that.
Yeah.
Because it's weird.
It's not weird though. Like when I say Cory and I's relationship is built on music, it literally, I mean, it was all of our memories revolved around music. It was Dawn, Cory, and bands, and that's just that was the
we
first.
Spent countless hours on LimeWire, just stealing the best music. Like,
Yeah.
have you heard of this? Do you remember this song?
Yeah.
And we would just go back and forth for hours.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was great.
Yeah.
But, some of those songs now, they may not necessarily be bad, like, or satanic or anything like that. They're just
No, right.
secular music.
Yeah.
But it takes us back to that time where we were like, hey, pause that. Let's refill these Jaeger bombs.
Yeah. Yep. Or, and you say memories, Cory and I's life could be mapped out. We could write a soundtrack because we, at one time we had broken up, and there is an album that literally was our breakup from start to finish. And, we have all of these things, and like you said, it's memories. And so sometimes it is when you get nostalgic and you wanna remember those kinds of things, and you're just talking about it, and you go back to those,
It triggers old emotions and
absolutely.
everything. And so like to completely eradicate it is a struggle. It is hard. There's so much.
Yeah.
Like,
and like with the band perspective, like we have, I don't know, we've built probably 40 or 50 songs that we had played before, all secular music, and there's a couple of them that I think we could still play. They don't glorify God, but they're not bad.
right.
Like the Foo Fighters, for example. It's not a bad song. It's just talking about ordinary people and how they can be heroes too.
Yeah.
And which is fine, but then there's also these other songs. I had asked Eric, like, other than this song and this song, like, do we play any other songs that aren't just blatantly disrespectful to God? And he immediately texted back and he was like, no, everything else we play is we should not play. And we don't. And we still haven't actually played the Foo Fighters song since we've made the transition, but we've added some other ones that are good.
Yeah.
We got Shine. Shine is good.
Well, and I think, going back to your original question, like, can a Christian artist play a song that doesn't necessarily glorify God? I think that, we have the gift of discernment, and I think that
I think that's what makes the difference in what it is you're listening to, because You know, I am literally an encyclopedia of music.
Yeah.
And you know, if given some time, I could probably write a list of songs made by non-Christians that could blend the line of being Christian
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah. Well, and I grew up on classic rock, and so music has always been my thing. And when I was young, I used to sing, and like it's just always been my thing. And now I now, like, you showed me some songs that are heavier, or I showed you, or however that works, that are heavier, that are like glorifying to God, but still like, and it's a different way. Like there's this, listening to Josh do his rendition, what does he call it?
Oh, he calls it
Peaceful Saints.
Peaceful Saints, yeah.
He calls it Peaceful Saints. And like, it's heavy, but there's this euphoric feeling inside of me, and this level of excitement that is like, it's the same as I would get from a worldly, song, but it's about God. It's about Jesus, really, Jesus and his disciples. And,
Speaking of songs that aren't necessarily Christian, but you can listen to them, I played Man in the Mirror. And I don't know how anybody's ever going to take it, but I knew I needed to play it during a sermon because it said what it needed to say.
Yeah.
Did he sing it and create it for that purpose? I don't think so. But the Cheers theme song, I've played that several times in church, and it's about a bar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's truly, God can use anything for his glory. I really do believe that. But it's what's the heart. Sometimes maybe it's not even the heart behind it when they're creating it.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe it's the heart listening to it, the intention of what you're doing with it in your
I do
heart.
think intent in, things like that matters. Whether or not it's, a specific song is putting you in a dark place or making you feel uplifted. It doesn't necessarily have to, be a Christian song, but if it's making you feel good and you're going about your day more happy and joyful listening to that song, then it's not a bad song.
Right. I'm a ballad lover. I love ballads. And so like I haven't listened, I don't dabble anymore at all in secular music, but when I do, I sometimes can pick out the lyrics and be like, no, God wouldn't like you to do that. you know what I mean, in my own brain, and then decide for myself, because I love ballad. I'm a lover of all ballads.
A lot of music you can play this game where it's God or girlfriend. Is he talking about God or is he talking about his girlfriend? And oftentimes you won't really know until like the last verse where he makes like one specific remark. So like you could be going through this whole song like, oh, he's talking about God, like, being in his life and things are better now and blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, there's one line about them sleeping together. And then you're like, oh, it's his girlfriend.
Yeah. Right.
Can I put a kind of change lanes for a second? I have been convicted because anytime I'm in my car now, if I'm not praying or if Mila's not with me listening to Joy, 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 I like to listen to podcasts. I like to listen to sermons. Like, I like anything that's learning, teaching, whatever it is, I'm listening to it all the time. Any of my downtime that I have, I'm just trying to learn and absorb and all this stuff. And the Lord kind of convicted me of, when are you spending time like in my song and lifting me up and praising me and worship me? Because when you have the worship music on, like, it's just all of you. You know what I mean? Even down the road, you can just belt it out, because no one can hear you other than Mila, or maybe the car's next to me, but it just puts your heart in a different place. And he kind of showed me, like, can you stop all the noise and the inputting, trying to grow, and just spend time rejoicing in me? And it shifts and changes my mood. Like, I'm not depressed because I'm learning and listening to podcasts and how to be a better leader, or learning and understanding the word. It's not taking me in a deep place, dark place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
we have to intentionally spend time singing his praises. And if it's the right music, you're singing your whole heart to the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed that it brings me joy. It will bring focus off of me and my circumstances, and I can be filled with joy and energy where I wasn't before.
We started writing some hard rock Christian music as a band. Last week was our first, or no, 2 weeks ago now was our first like Christian band practice. Like, we're not playing secular music anymore. We're just playing Christian music. If we've got no songs that we can cover, then we're gonna start writing our own. And we wrote 2 songs and got about 80% of them done. But after we had wrote them and kind of played through them one time, my only expression was that I feel high. Like, I got high off that. It felt so good to do that, and to do it in such a way where we're glorifying God. So I wasn't, I didn't feel like she wanted me out of the house. I didn't feel like, the band needed to go. Like, everything was in place, and it made me feel high, which was awesome. And
It's the highest of highs. It's
Yeah,
not. There's nothing comparable to it.
no, it was awesome. And really, other than drugs, music is the only thing that can do that for me. Like, I don't get that feeling from anything else.
Right.
And, no drugs. So
Right.
I'm in the music now.
Yeah. Well, and I think that is it. Music takes you somewhere else. So that no matter where you are or what you're doing, music takes you to somewhere else. Sometimes it takes you straight into the throne room, and sometimes it takes you other places.
Takes you right to the bottom.
Oh yeah, right, absolutely right to the bottom. And now as you, like, your band is playing, like Joshua singing that song, it got me so hyped and excited. Like, and reading his lyrics that he just off the fly wrote, and to be
it comes naturally to him that way. Like, it's
supernaturally.
Before we started doing Christian music, he was always like, I don't know, and blah blah blah. And we made the transition, and he's so in it and involved, and like, he really loves it.
Yeah, I told April about Break Stuff. I was like, I told her one of the lines of the songs, and I was like, but he changed the whole thing to where it's like, now you're like, oh my goodness, I love it, because you knew what it was before. So this is stupid probably, but it's like us. We start here and we're dark and we're bound down and we're, in a bad place. But then Jesus takes us and he makes us new. And he turns us into something wonderful. And that's exactly what's happening with that music. He takes the song from where it was from this bound place from this angry place. And he's turned it into something that is beautiful and uplifting and glorifies God. It's super amazing.
Yeah.
Like it's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm jealous of that gift.
It's fun, and we've had 2 practices now, one without one of the members even, and it still was productive. It was fun. I got the high feeling. Joshua got to sing his song that he rewrote for the first time, and he sounded great. And it's just awesome.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling.
So you keep referencing like the high feeling. I have to share that. I don't even think that that's necessarily just the music. I think that because you are living out the calling God's purposed you for. So that feeling that you're talking about, it's going to sound stupid, but it's the feeling that I get when I get to teach at a conference, when I get to teach a class. Like, I get sick when I first started teaching or training. Who am I? I can't do this. And I'd be sick the entire way there. The second I started teaching, I am just so filled. Like, it's a rush that you're at the top of a what's that called? Roller coaster. And you just cannot, there's no feeling like it. when you're in the lane and the calling that God's gifted you to, it is like an empowering rush that comes from nowhere else.
I can piggyback off that. On Wednesday evenings when I practice with Kathy, it's usually a long day at work right before that. And I'm bogged down, I'm tired. I sometimes feel like I don't even want to go. And by the time we get to the first chorus of the first song that we're practicing, I am back up and I'm having a great time. And when we leave, I'm like, oh, it's already been an hour and a half? Like,
Yeah.
come on, we could play more. Like,
Right.
and, I'm back up in cloud 9 again. It's awesome how that.
Yeah. And what we take in does matter then. We what we put into our ears and what into our eyes, what we watch on TV, what we listen to, it matters and it affects our walk and our closeness. And we have to listen to the Spirit inside of us when He says, it's time to put this down. It's time to move on somewhere else because this is holding you back. And your choice is be held back and stay in your comfort lane or walk in obedience,
Mm-hmm. And going back to, well, I guess we'll keep using NF as an example. Going back to him, I'm wondering if he isn't just chasing money and fame.
Well, I maybe
because in the music genre world, secular music is by far broader. There are millions, if not billions, more people listen to secular music than Christian music. So I'm wondering if in order to gain that fame or build that ego or whatever it is he's after, if that's not why he dabbles more so into this lane rather than the contemporary lane.
well, and looking
Because-
at his sorry, I'm sorry.
Because the Christian, even where I'm trying to take the band is like a Christian metal scene. It's not only is Christian music a smaller pool than secular, but Christian metal is even smaller than that. And in metal music already has a stigma of being demonic and
Yeah.
angry and evil. I mean, I don't think it is, but
No, but think about the squares. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly.
You're getting my shag
Yeah,
carpet dirty.
the don't get my shag carpet dirty with your feet kind of people.
No, I'm like, what are you talking about squares? Like, is this a metaphor?
It's from Jesus Revolution.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
And so like those kind of people, even just hearing metal music, whether or not the lyrics could be right out of Proverbs, just reading proverb lyrics, and they're gonna be like, no, that's evil.
Yeah.
Just because they hear, heavy metal.
Yeah.
So like this pool is really small already. So, I'm wondering if a lot of these artists aren't, trying to build this ego and build a little bit of wealth and some fame by moving from this lane into that secular lane to try and build that.
Yeah. I think that music is an outlet, so
absolutely.
so music is an outlet, and when you write lyrics, if you're a lyricist, it's like April said, it skips your mind and goes right to your heart. I think that when you write lyrics, maybe not in all cases, but sometimes it's straight from your heart. It's from a place in your heart that you've been to, a place in your heart that you've endured. And so when you write the lyrics down, it sometimes can come off as angry because you feel that anger in your heart. But the difference is are you running it through your God filter? When I'm singing a worship song as opposed to a secular song, the difference for me is I'm clinging to the Father as opposed to I'm clinging to whatever problem I have. I'm not sitting in my problem. I'm going to the problem solver and I'm singing through that. Does that mean I can't? The Bible is like, there's all kinds of stuff in the Bible about depression, about, people went through, they were real people. Mm-hmm. They went through, they didn't have a savior yet in the Old Testament. Even in the New Testament, yet you saw the woman at the well, she was some kind of woman and Jesus just approached her. So everybody has a story, and it is what you do in your story. It's not what you do per se. It's how you get back up from where you were. And how do you do that if your whole music is just, I'm staying here. This is what I'm choosing to do is, I don't know if that makes sense. I'm writing lyrics and I'm staying here.
So like you just described, that the lyrics that people are sharing comes from their heart most of the time. And when you are a Christian, and I know that there's a process of that, I'm going to go back to the anger against the father. When you're a Christian, that anger, the Lord allows us to see. And again, it's a process, so it takes a minute. Yeah. I'm not saying that you're not a Christian if you're not there. I'm just saying eventually you don't see that anger towards a person. You get to see them as broken people, and that you don't have to carry that anger. Like, that's part of laying it down and becoming a new man when you accept Christ into your life, not carrying that anger anymore.
Yeah.
So if we are calling ourselves Christian and all I have is anger in my heart, then we're no different than we were before.
That was almost my exact description for one of our members who is still not 100% sold on the direction of the band that we're going. And, he was saying, well, I like these songs that we played before. They're fun for me, and they make me feel good to play them. Which, it's his own, that's his opinion. But my rebuttal to it was that's fine, but us three, we're done promoting rape and violence and hate and anger, because we're not that anymore. We're not angry. Our lives are good. We're building, and that's just where we're at. So we're not doing that anymore. And so far it's been okay, but we'll see.
Well, and I like that one thing that you guys did with the band that I love, and I believe, I know that God he does such a work in everyone. But the thing that I love is, my brain was like, kick them out. What's up, dude? You know what I mean? That's what, I'm terrible. But you guys were like, let us show you that you can do the same thing and get the same joy. And all we have to do is change
some lyrics.
Change some lyrics. So you're playing guitar, or you're playing the drums, or you're whatever you're doing, you can get the same feeling from it. But it's more. I like that you guys did that. You were like, that's what you're supposed to do.
The one song we literally changed nothing but the lyrics.
Yeah.
That's all that was changed, which is how we were still able to make it flow so smoothly. Okay, let's play War Pigs.
Yeah.
Which is Joshua's Peaceful Saints. He just rewrote the lyrics.
What kind of message would have you sent to that man saying, we're going to play songs glorifying to God. You don't like it? Bye-bye.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What kind of message would have that been to him?
He probably would have just came over and got his stuff and left.
Yeah.
And
we love God, and if you're not in, then see ya.
And there would have been hard feelings, and who knows? He was in our wedding, so, who knows if we'd even talk to him again.
Right. And even that, how glorifying would have that been to God?
Yeah.
You're going to sing for me, but I'm a lover of all people.
Yes.
So what you guys did was embrace him in love.
Yeah.
And try and show him the way.
Yeah.
So you can have love and truth.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome. It's incredible. And I think that music has, we've talked about it. Music is it. It has everything. It can put you in it. It can take you to a different place. It can.
What's that Clint Black line? Ain't it funny how a melody
can bring back a memory. Yeah.
And even listening to that song, you're like, oh yeah, and it, like,
Yeah.
it does. It's like a smell. Like you get one random smell walking around town, and you're like, wait, that reminds me of when I was like 14 sometime.
Yeah.
Well, and it explains too why I've worked in nursing homes where you have dementia patients and Alzheimer's where they don't know their children. They don't know their spouse. They remember nothing. You start singing a hymn and they will finish the entire thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a universal language. Music is.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a person following Christ, you have to, it's almost like a precious gift that you have to give to people.
To use it.
Yeah. And if you use it not in alignment with what Christ wants, then you're shifting other people, even maybe without them realizing it.
Even if you're 5 degrees off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because down the road, that 5 degrees turns into more than 5.
Yeah. Yeah. This was like way more peaceful than I thought it was going to be.
It's because April's here.
Oh, she's the peacekeeper.
I brought my boxing gloves.
I thought we were going to fight or something. Probably because we've already had this conversation and got heated.
Yeah, we have dabbled in it, and
Where I got loud with you.
yeah.
You got any other notes to share?
I don't really think so. I mean, we've pretty much covered everything.
I have to close by playing a little bit of a song whenever you guys are finished.
Okay.
I think we covered it all.
Yeah, we pretty much did. I mean, I have a lot of notes, but the vast majority of it is repetitive, different variations of the same question.
You have scripture. I can't
Yeah.
read what it says, but I see you with scripture over
that
there.
actually has nothing to do with
Well, can we
these
hear
notes.
it anyway?
Oh, yeah. It's Proverbs 12:15. Fools think their own way is right, but the wise listen to others.
Yeah, it absolutely has everything to do with that. Because you are...
Well, not when I wrote it.
Oh, because you're a very opinionated man about music, and you're steadfastly like, I'm
Yeah.
right.
Well, yeah. Well, when we were arguing about it, I was like, we were using NF as the prime example, which is terrible because I don't listen to his music, so I really can't defend the guy, but I was trying to. And like, I like the band Tool, and they have concept albums, which is the premise of a concept album is track by track, it tells one giant story. It's almost like a really long book made in song form. And so if you listen to the first 5 songs, you're like, wow, this is terrible. You probably shouldn't listen to this. But the last 5 songs are the uplifting, pulling himself out of that funk from the first 5 songs. So is that bad? I mean, if you listen to them first 5 songs on a track-by-track basis, like, we'll just play this album on this song, you're like, shouldn't listen to that.
So I'm gonna branch off that and say, let's look at the Bible, which is a story. If you only read the first part and you skip the last part, you don't get the full thing. So how many people read it in its full entirety before they jump ship?
Almost none.
Which is the same thing for that. So I wouldn't say I'm not the judger of things, but
that's kind of what I'm meaning, as in like trying to turn myself into a songwriter and write this music to write a song that or 2 songs that that aren't directly just glorifying God. I'm sure it would turn people off as far as Christian music listeners go, but because you can't make everybody happy, it's just impossible. But we'll use Creed for an example. They were billed for years as a Christian band, and they have great Christian songs, but they said GD once in a song, and career is over.
well, yeah.
Well, okay, so it's integrity, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I get up and I cuss just one sermon and it's truly from my heart and it's coming out, I'm going to lose the integrity I had before with some. Some aren't going to care, but the integrity that I had is going to be gone, and you can't get that back.
Right. That makes sense.
And then to answer your question, like you said, you're not going to please all people, and hello, I'm a pastor. I understand that. I'm a follower of Christ. I absolutely understand that. But what I'm going to challenge you with is the same thing that I think every believer has to be challenged with. We, at the end of the day, have one to answer to. At the end of the day, I have to look in the mirror and know that I have done everything that the Lord has called me to do. You might not like it, and you might not agree with it, but if the Lord has called me to do it, and I'm doing it to my best ability, am I perfect? Nope. Am I going to hit it on the bullseye every time? No. But that's where my heart is. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. So you can't try to please anyone other than the Lord himself.
Mm-hmm. That's good stuff.
That's very good stuff. Truth.
Mm-hmm.
Very much so.
So when you get the critiques and you get the criticisms and all of these things, you are able to stand strong in knowing what I'm doing is what God's called me to do. So if you take it up with the Lord, I mean, honestly, you have no other answer.
And he'll give you the answer.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not the one you like.
Right. And I guess I might have hinted that, like, oh, we're going to write secular music too. That's not the direction we're going.
I didn't think that.
I'm trying to hold on to my past a little bit and still make it okay to listen to some music.
Okay. And that's where your verse comes in?
Yeah, I guess that's where the verse comes in. Really, when I wrote that verse down there, it had nothing to do with all the rest of these notes.
That's how.
But,
That's fancy.
I mean, is it odd?
Yeah.
Praise it God.
All right, let's hear this. Let's hear your...
I'm just doing a little 30-second snippet,
Okay.
and I didn't pre-play it, so I have no idea what it sounds like at the beginning.
Okay.
You were talking,
Interesting.
and this is what... Oh, hold on. It's an ad.
We're not getting paid for ads here.
Yeah,
So
not yet.
embarrassing. Just give me a second.
Da, 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 da.
Oh, I have other scripture too.
You do?
Yeah.
Hey, will you read it? Well, this is getting to the good parts.
It's Colossians 3:16. Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly, singing psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs with gratitude in your hearts to God. And I have on there, to me, I interpreted that as music that focuses on spiritual growth.
I like it. Look at you and your wisdom. All right.
Hold on, let me...
Be careful, little eyes, what you see. For the Father up above is looking down in love. So be careful, little eyes, what you see.
Wait for it.
Be careful, little ears, what you hear. Oh, be careful, little ears, what you hear. For the Father up above is looking down in love. So be careful, little ears, what you hear.
Yeah?
It speaks truth, though. Look at kids. Earlier today, April with me, she's like, "Don't watch me," because that they hear and they watch and they see.
What
And
was I
that's
doing?
Taking batteries out of a keyboard.
Oh, yeah.
But that's just it. So we're pouring. We're always pouring, even when we don't think we're pouring. With children, with adults, with peers, with everybody, they're watching us. Especially if they're curious, they're watching every single move we make. So when you come in the church parking lot blaring, some
I do.
terrible.
Well, it's not terrible.
Yeah, but I mean like something that's like, people. I know that we shouldn't care that people watch us, but we have to. We have to be.
When we're ambassadors for Christ, that's our whole job, is influencing. An ambassador influences. So we're from the kingdom of God now. If you're a Christian, you're from the kingdom of God, and our job is to influence this dark world. So it's not that we care and we don't alter our way because of how people are going to judge us, but we are influencing the world for Christ.
Yeah.
So if we're saying one thing and our lives are showing differently, it's not just the young kids see that, but it's the unbelievers that see that. It's the young in Christ that see that. Oh, they've been walking this walk a long time and they still are doing this. It's okay. So everything that we do influences people one way or another.
Yeah.
One of my favorite songs right now, there's a line in it that says, "I will follow you even when this whole world hates me." And it's a jam, too. They rock, but that just reminded me of that line.
Yeah. Well, the word says it'll happen.
And count yourself blessed because they hated him first.
Yes. Boom. Mic drop. So on that note, still no feedback on the Facebook page, which means you guys aren't, you answered, your questions are all answered. You don't want to help us form content. We're going to keep talking about random stuff that we want to talk about. So if there is something burning,
Yeah.
don't hesitate. Reach out. And until next time, have a good week.
Bye.